kind of advice do you have to homeowners?
Practicing that preparedness. Starting the conversation now is always going to be a benefit to any association out there.
And welcome to Recover Live. I'm Dan Odess, president of GlobalPro, where we manage your risk to recovery, and we have managed more than $1 million worth of recovery. We want to make sure that you have the insurance news you can use. And by tuning in here on a daily basis, whether it's on our social media, our YouTube, our Facebook, you're going to have that information you can use as a policyholder to ensure that your interests are being protected. So tune in every single week, hit the subscribe button, like us and follow us on all the social media platforms, because today's topic is important. It's a very important topic to many of the victims of these winter storms that have impacted most of the United States, whether it's through Texas, all the way through the East Coast, and many other events that are occurring as we speak. Every day there's something happening, whether it's fires, hurricanes, tropical storms, tornadoes, a lot of tornadoes touching down, some dramatic video that's being reported on. But winter storms we're dealing with the fallout right now. So we want to make sure that you're constantly and consistently getting the information that you can use as policyholders and making sure that you avoid some of these issues. And you know, there's what we're realizing as policyholders is that your insurance companies have snuck certain information or conditions into your policy that may not be to your best interest, whether it's limitations on certain coverages, reporting requirements, exclusions. We're hearing a lot about denied claims and the start of what's to be a tremendous amount of litigation in Texas. And we want to make sure that you all avoid that uncertain fate and that you do whatever you can to either fix what has already been done or prepare for what's to come. Or maybe even better yet, is prepare for the next one and maybe do it differently the next time around, because this is a cycle. It doesn't stop. The moment you get that insurance policy to recover from a claim, you start rebuilding, you're back at it again, getting another policy, you have another loss, you recover, you rebuild, and again, you get the policy again. It is a cycle. It's 360 degrees. It keeps spinning. We have a signature process that helps you through that. This is your source for free information that can help you avoid the uncertain fate, which based on the media reportings, thousands of people are experiencing issues with their claims as a result of these winter storms, and we want to make sure that you avoid those uncertain fates. So tune in every single week. I can't emphasize it enough, but more importantly, if you subscribe, you'll like us, you'll get notices of other videos and other information that we're constantly putting up there to help you navigate this process. If you take a quick look at these media reports coming out of Texas and you look at the issues of coverage, it's absolutely disgraceful, quite frankly. You bought insurance and simple questions like the power went out and I had to move into a hotel, am I covered? And brokers not even being able to answer those questions and then encouraging policyholders to say, hey, just go make the claim. The fact is, if you ask that broker, hey, do you have an actual copy of my policy? Can you look at it for me and give me a little insight? You'll quickly realize they're not there to help you adjust a claim. They're there to sell you a product. That's no fault of their own. I just hope that they recognize that and give you access or information to your ways in which you can deal with some of the issues that you're having with your claim, or a resource in which you can go to get those answers. So make sure that you are looking at the information. Make sure you're looking for the information more specifically, and getting what you need in order to make sure you avoid those issues. Another one that I'm hearing is that the homeowner contacted the insurance company and said, hey, I had frozen pipes and now I have water damage on my property. And then we had an insurance company ask, well, what were you doing to regulate the temperature in your home? What a dumb question. There was no power. There's nothing you could possibly do. It was an absolute certainty that you were going to have an issue in your property. The fact that they're trying to use what you did or didn't do in your property when you have no access to power or anything to do anything other than what you did, which was to protect and take care of your family or yourself and make sure that you had food, water, and that you could actually go to some place that you could take a shower or even sleep because of the freezing conditions that unfortunately led to injury, if not death, for some unfortunate people and victims of these storms. it's kind of crazy to think that that is the follow-up question to it. But the reality is that it really started what you said. You had a frozen pipe. You only know what you know. Don't act like an expert. Your first notice of an issue or reporting a claim was the water damage. Report the water damage. Allow the insurance company to do their own independent investigation. Take a step back. If you don't even have your copy of your policy, why are you saying that you had frozen pipes? Why are you even saying what is damaged or what's not damaged? You have no idea. Just like when you asked the broker and they said, well, I'm not sure if your coverage, let's just go report a claim. Again, bad advice because they had no idea. Let's not direct people, obviously in the direction of the most resistance. Let's get answers to our questions. Take your time. Your policies don't require immediate notice. Very important. I want to emphasize that. They will most often require prompt notice. Very different. The reality is if you don't know this total scope of your damage and you're still trying to figure it out and you're trying to work through the weeds, it's okay. And as soon as you have that information and you know what's going to go on and maybe you even know what some of the expenses are concerned, go ahead and report your claim. Take your time. Slow down. Get the information you need in order to report those claims to make sure that you are protecting your interests. It's really important. In prior broadcasts, we talk about specific things related to policyholders in these situations, okay? Like dealing with the winter storms, okay? It's very specific. In fact, there's specific language in your policy as it relates to frozen pipes and fluctuating temperatures and things like that. Make sure that you look at your specific situation and identify what is in your best interest and in which way you should report those claims or damages and how you should obtain records from your contractors. Making sure your contractors' records also only state what they're actually doing and don't offer any certain opinions about things that they may not have enough information. Maybe they don't actually know why the pipe broke or the hot water heater failed. If they don't, and the only thing that they can know for sure is that you had a failure in the hot water heater or a failure in a pipe, then that's it. They know that there was a failure and they're there to replace that pipe or that hot water heater. That's all their invoicing needs to say. It doesn't need to go on to give you a short story because you don't get paid for telling short stories when it comes to insurance. Stick to the facts, stick to what you know. Allow the experts to step in there as needed and representing your interests to make sure that you are in fact protecting your interests and you are in fact working towards a recovery. If there is no recovery to be had, then there's no purpose of pursuing a claim. But without the policy and without experts looking into these things, you're not going to know. And relying on your contractor and your broker or your insurance company to protect your interests is your fault. It's not what you should be doing. Get the policy, know the facts yourself as a policyholder, know what it says. And if you don't know what it says or how to interpret it, and maybe you don't want to hire a public adjuster, which I disagree with, but maybe you don't, contact the Department of Insurance. Ask them to help you explain to you this form that they approved. What was its intention? What was it supposed to mean? Understand its intention. Access those resources first because they're there. They're the ones who approve these forms, right? They're the ones that agree to these things. And if you can't get the information from a public adjuster, a licensed public adjuster in your area, that's ethical, that's going to be there to help you and advocate for your interests, that's not taking on too much work, that doesn't have the resources to actually get you answers, then start contacting others that may be able to help you. But your broker's not going to do it and your insurance company's certainly not. Okay? The broker there to sell insurance, your insurance company's there to obviously do their part, to their adjusters that come out represent their interest. It's not to say that the insurance companies are out there just to collect your premium and not to take care of you, because that's not what the contract says. The contract says that they're there to help you financially if you suffer a loss on your home or your business, whatever it may be. But the reality is those individuals that come out work for them. And the less they pay you, the more money they make. It's just business, simple transaction. It's not to slander anyone or say that they're not there, they're not going to do good by you and everything else. But the fact of the matter is this is a business transaction. They paid them a premium. There's a contract. Now let's hold them to that contract. Let's make sure they do what they're supposed to do. But let's not also make sure that you don't do something you're not supposed to do. Like don't allow them to inspect or don't produce records or say the wrong thing or assume something without knowing facts. All right, so take your time, walk through the process. A question we were fielding a lot was, I got to move out of my house. I mentioned it earlier. I got to move out of my house. Well, have you suffered damages? I don't know. Okay, well, if you need to move out of your house to protect your family or yourself, then move out of your house temporarily. All right, make sure you keep accurate records, information, and when you get back to your property, make sure you do a full assessment of it. And if you can't do it yourself, make sure that you retain an expert to do that for you, like ourselves, like a public adjuster. You know, maybe a contractor can help identify where there may be issues or damages. But again, narrow their focus on the issue. You don't get paid for telling short stories. Make sure they're invoicing, make sure the documents are all correct, they're helpful, and they're not hurtful. Because if they don't have a copy of your policy and they're not going to adjust the claim for you, then they don't know what they're writing is how it's going to impact your claim. It's a very tricky situation. I know you have a lot of uncertainties. You may get anxiety over it, but that's why we've been broadcasting and talking about these things. But the issues I'm talking about here are not just relevant to storms, winter storms. They're relevant to pretty much any claim, whether it's a fire, a pipe break that damages your association, your business, your home. It's relevant to all that. The insurance policies are complicated. They're getting more complicated. They're adding endorsements. They're adding additional coverage issues that could potentially stand in your way of getting a recovery if you don't handle the properly, or just because it simply no longer covers you for those damages. But that may not be your fault. You may not even know that. So how do you know what you're getting when you buy insurance? Well, your broker's supposed to be explaining that to you. So it's a good idea to keep records of what they're telling you this insurance is going to do for you if you have a loss. So make sure you follow us through these broadcasts, get the information you need. I have so much information I'm going to share with you literally on a daily basis. Unfortunately, we get the broadcast here live on a weekly basis. We're all constantly interviewing people so they can join in, provide their expertise. Just last week, we had an attorney in our office providing legal updates for community associations, businesses as it relates to first-party insurance claims. All kinds of information was shared that you're not going to get anywhere else. And that's what we constantly want to do. So again, hit the subscribe button, like us, follow us on all social media. We want to make sure that you're getting that information. And as part of this continuing effort to educate policyholders, we are going to be launching virtual town hall meetings for victims of these winter storms. Information is going to be disseminated to our contact client base, as well as people we know in your community that are making an impact, to inform them about our education, the things that we want to share with you as policyholders that are going to help you avoid this uncertain fate of a denial, a delayed claim, or an underpaid claim. And that's what we're seeing. That's what the media is reporting right now. Repeating denied claims, or they're reporting on litigation. Tremendous. Okay, so there's alternatives to disputes that doesn't require an attorney. Learn about these things. That's what you're going to hear about at these town hall meetings. That's what we're going to be broadcasting. We're going to be sending out all kinds of information about it. We're going to be following it up with additional information after that, talking points, things you need to know. We're going to be answering your questions live, providing you the information you need as a policyholder to navigate the claims process. So if you've been damaged by any of these winter storms just recently, look for this information. If you know someone that's been damaged by the storms, make sure that you forward it on. Please share this information with them. And as these town hall meetings, as we promote these upcoming meetings, make sure you share that information as well. But again, best thing you do, hit the subscribe button, like us, follow us on all the social media. I truly want you all to tune in every single week to hear about all that we have to share with you, because we're giving you free advice as to how to protect your interests as a policyholder. So for all those that tune in this week, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Continue to doing that. And we have some special broadcasts coming up because we start the countdown to our 10-year anniversary. And I'm getting a jump on it. I know our marketing team is probably looking at me going, here goes Dan. But I'm getting a jump on it. I'm already excited about this. We're going to be telling past stories, things we've learned. We're going to talk about things that didn't work and how we got out, through our struggles. What made us today as successful as we are as a team, how we've helped our clients grow their businesses, how we've helped community associations work through tough situations, recapitalize, thinking they needed to reserve millions of dollars to repair damages to their building because they were told by a broker or insurance company that things weren't covered, and how we turned those denials into multi-million-dollar recoveries. How we took situations where it was costing associations tens of thousands of dollars in legal fees. We took them out of a lawsuit and obtained a recovery. We want to talk about all the different things we did. We want to talk about, more importantly, how associations, business owners called us first and avoided all of that and just got the recovery they're entitled to in record time. We do this every day, so make sure you tune in. Our broadcasts over the next 12 months are going to highlight all these special things that we've done over the last 10 years. I'm beyond excited about it. But we're going beyond the broadcast. We're going to be sending out letters and information all about all the great things that we do here at GlobalPro on a daily basis, and highlight all the things that we have done on a daily basis since day one. So continue to tune in. I want to thank you to all of those that have tuned in today. I'm Dan Odess with GlobalPro, where we manage your risk to recovery.